excuses a student can get away with for being late to class. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Collin, Ruane.
And I'm Brittany, Pieper.
3 people are in custody in Jefferson City today as police learn more details about a shots fired incident yesterday. Police arrested Loretta Lewis, Leroy Spinks, and Elijah Sullivan yesterday. You see them right there. That was in the afternoon after someone fired a gun in the 800 block of Monroe Street. All 3 were charged with first-degree assault and armed criminal action. Police say Spinks is a convicted felon. Officers chased the suspects before stopping them on Southwest Boulevard. JCPD found drugs and 2 handguns in their car. Police say they believe Spinks shot at the intended victim from the car before driving off. 21-year-old Elijah Sullivan's arrest yesterday led police to name him as a suspect in another shooting in Jefferson City on September 30th. I was on the scene back in September where police said one man was hit in the leg by gunfire. Officers were on the scene around 10:30 in the morning at the 200 block of Pine Street, also in Jefferson City. 3 schools in the area were placed on lockdown as a precaution. Temperatures are expected to drop this weekend, and if you plan to turn on the heat, it might not make as big of a hole in your wallet this year. The Energy Information Administration projects heating your home will be the cheapest it has been in 4 years. The EIA report says heating bills will go down due to a milder winter and cheap oil prices. Homes in the Midwest will see about a 10% drop in their bills. Homes using propane could save a significant amount. The report says consumers could see a $300 decrease this winter. But the Missouri Propane Gas Association says this does not mean people should fail to prepare. They said the weather is unpredictable, so the fall in gas prices is not the only factor that could affect their heating bill. Ameren, Missouri filed for a lower gas rate today. If approved by the Missouri Public Service Commission, Ameren users could pay the lowest rate in 15 years, saving about $100 a year. If approved, the new rates will go into effect next month. International news, President Barack Obama says 9,800 U.S. troops will stay in Afghanistan through next year. His new plan also looks to keep 3,500 troops at various military installations through 2017. The president says the goal is to combat al-Qaeda and train local security, and that goal remains the same. Just a year ago, Obama said he wanted to leave no more than 1,000 troops for U.S. Embassy security. For the first time in 5 years, the government announced today it will not give an annual raise to Social Security benefits. Every year, the government looks at the rise in the cost of living and inflation. The payouts typically rise to meet society's demands, but this year, gas prices balanced out the inflation. This affects more than 65 million retirees and disabled veterans.
The Cardinals are out, but the Royals are still battling the Blue Jays on their path to the World Series.
When it comes to technology, though, Columbia High School softball and baseball teams are ahead of the majors with a trend in mobile devices. KOMU-8's Kaylee Peterson takes a look at how iPads could be changing America's pastime. Earlier this week, the Cubs knocked out the Cardinals in a rivalry division series. And on the other side of Missouri, the Royals take on the Blue Jays at home tomorrow night to kick off the league championship series. New technology was unveiled today at Missouri's Tech Expo, and it aims to find a cure for one of the worst kinds of muscular dystrophy. Duchenne muscular dystrophy, or DMD, is a genetic disorder that causes irreversible deterioration of muscles. It often leaves people wheelchair-bound by their teenage years and severely limits their lifespan. The CEO and founder of Solid Biosciences, Elon Gannot, is looking to change that. His son, shown here, was diagnosed with this disease 3 years ago today. Gannot says researchers at the University of Missouri are working on a gene therapy approach. He says the approach is an attempt to replace a defective gene with a copy of a functional one. Gannot says DMD affects 1 out of 3 to 4,000 newborn boys. Hundreds of hours and thousands of books. After the break, how the Frankfurt Book Fair used records to set a new one. Coming up on KOMU-8 News at 6, lawmakers and mid-Missouri schools clash over gender identity.
We'll take a look at how students on both sides of the issue responded.
The Frankfurt Book Fair set a record for the most books being toppled like dominoes. Take a look at that going right there. Organizers spent hours setting up books to fall flat in 1 minute and 12 seconds.
Oh, wow.
Here's a unique aspect, though. They used 10,200 copies of the Guinness Book of World Records. The fair hopes to see its story written in next year's record books.